I was first appointed to the Senate, and I had 3% name ID in the state of Colorado, and I'd never run for office before. And I went back to Washington exactly the same time Barack Obama went back to Washington, and we began to consider the most important health care reform that had been enacted in a generation, called the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. I was proud to vote for that, but I was viewed by everybody as the most vulnerable Democrat up for election that year in a purple state, a state that's exactly a third Democratic, a third Republican, and a third independent. It was shaping up to be a horrible year for Democrats, and it was a horrible year for Democrats. It was the rise of the Tea Party. And in the face of all of that, not only did I vote for the Affordable Care Act, but when a lot of people weren't having town halls at all, I went to the reddest parts of Colorado and held town hall after town hall after town hall. I made my own deck, just like I used to when I was superintendent of the Denver Public Schools, to try to explain why I'd voted for the bill, why I thought it was going to be important for the American people to have the protections for people with pre-existing conditions, why it was important for us to expand Medicaid. We talked a lot about my disappointment that we hadn't passed a public option as part of that bill, because I thought that was a critically important part of it. And in the end, I barely survived, my election. I was asked on national television whether in that election I was willing to lose my seat over the Affordable Care Act, and my answer was yes.
As a new senator who's on the ballot next year in a tough state, if you get to the final point and you are a critical vote for health care reform, and every piece of evidence tells you if you support that bill you will lose your job, would you cast a vote and lose your job?
Yes. The reason I was asked that question was they thought I was going to lose. And I didn't know whether I was going to lose or not, but I had the opportunity to fight a good fight, and it was a good fight. It was worth fighting, and we barely survived. And actually, because I won, and Harry Reid won, and Patty Murray won out in Washington State, Democrats held on to the majority for another 4 years.